You are tuned in to Watch Your Style. My name is Eric. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the new Rolex Day-Date 40 that was released earlier this year. So Rolex released a bunch of several different watches. They came out with the Yachtmaster with the rubber strap, which I'm excited particularly about. A couple other little, things here and there. But the main one that caught my attention was the 40mm Day-Date. Now, as you know, the Rolex Day-Date Presidential is one of the most famous and flagship models from the brand, besides obviously the Submariner. And for years, the 36mm has always been the standard gentleman dress watch, in an all gold bracelet combination. And I'll never forget the day that I saw when they came out with the Day-Date 2, and it's actually pretty coincidence because I happened to have been partying one weekend in Vegas, and I was walking into a nightclub in the Wynn, and I noticed that the Rolex boutique outside, I see the 41mm. I had no idea it was coming out. I didn't even know. Obviously I was lost around that time, but I didn't even notice it came out, and I just saw it and it blew my mind. I thought, first thing I thought I was drinking way too much and I was magnifying it. Then I kind of realized immediately, I got on my phone and went on an internet search and realized that they had released the Day-Date 2 in 41mm, and it just looked badass. It was big, same proportions and same characteristics as the 36mm, just pretty much bigger. And I felt like, wow, immediately when I saw it, I was like, they hit it right on the nail where it needed to be done. Let's talk about the case size. That's the obvious reason why they, came out with the new model. Is a lot of people were complaining about the case size. I mean, me personally, I don't like those oversized watches. I don't like these overly, big watches. I feel like sometimes when they get a little bit too big, it's a little bit tacky. I would say, personally, for me, a 44 is my max. There are watches that, although they say 44mm, they wear a bit smaller, and also some that say 42 but wear a bit larger, like a 44. But with the Day-Dates, I think that they've always worn exactly how they say. Rolex tends to be very precise with those type of things. If it says 40mm, it just wears like a 40mm. It never seems larger, feels larger. Except maybe with the case with the Deep Sea, this is a bit tall. The 36mm on my wrist, and even for me that I have a smaller size wrist, it is a bit small, it is a bit outdated already. I look at it more as a woman's model, although it is a men's model. And a lot of guys do swear by it, a lot of older guys like the smaller model, and I understand that. But the 40mm, as you look at them right next to each other, there is an obvious difference. It's obviously, it looks a lot smaller. Just by looking at the bezel alone looks smaller. The case is smaller, it's thinner. I could see where it's a bit more comfortable, and maybe a little bit more, I don't know, I guess more toned down, you could say. I don't know. It's a hard decision for me because, I don't think there's anything that needed to be changed with the Day-Date 2. Going down 1mm, I'm not really sure if it was worth revamping the whole line. Some people state that it's too big, that it's too bulky, that the 36mm is perfect. In my opinion, if you think that the 36mm is the perfect, not that you can't afford or want to spend the money on the bigger one, but if you think that the 36mm is perfect and you're a male of over 30 years old, I think you're just retarded. But that's besides the point. Like I said, that's why they make all these different models, so that you can choose whichever one you like. That's why they make Range Rovers, and they also make Yaris's. If you want to drive the Yaris, that's your, you have your right. But besides that, the cases, 1mm made a huge difference with Rolex, and I think that's obviously what they wanted to do. You know, that's something that they obviously wanted to do. They just wanted to make it smaller. I don't understand if it has to do with foreign markets that maybe, you know, they just require a smaller wrist size or what, you know. For at least us Americans, the 41 millimeter is perfect, in my opinion. And there's also speculation now going around, and there's rumors, and some have been confirmed, some are not very, that the 41 millimeter is going to be discontinued. I mean, Jesus Christ, what, you know, like here they come out and they come out with this perfect watch, and then it's like, oh, just kidding, we're going to discontinue it. So it's official. The Day-Date has now come out in 40 millimeter case. For some people, like I mentioned earlier, it's going to be, are they trying to please everybody? Is Rolex just trying to please all the whiners out there? The 41 is too big. I like the 36. The 36 is the perfect size suit watch. Personally, I think that if, you know, everyone has the, you know, I respect everyone's opinion, and if they can like the 36, but I'm sorry, man. If you like the 36 over the 41, I think kind of a little bit you're an idiot, or you're just being an extreme cheapskate. As far as Rolex is concerned, I don't know if they were trying to please everyone or if they're just smoking crack. But maybe the watch just hasn't grown on me. Maybe eventually I will change to my opinion and think that the new 40 millimeter case is the right size. But for the current moment, the things that excites me about the new watch is the new dial combinations and the movement. Other than that, I'm not really that thrilled about it. I have no doubt in my mind it's gonna sell because it's not an ugly watch, you know, but I'm not absolutely thrilled about it. I think that there's several other models that we need from Rolex than a new 40 millimeter Day-Date. I think there was a bunch of other models that would have excited us a lot more and that we need. You know, it took them, it's about damn time they come out with a watch with a rubber strap, you know. I'm excited about that watch. The 40 millimeter, I think that's unnecessary, you know. I think it's ridiculous. Personally, I think if you're gonna go with the 40, you might as well just go all the way and get the 41. Because the 41 is the nicest size. That's just my opinion. The 40 millimeter, I don't know. I think the bracelet looks a little bit silly with that whole little dirt bike ramp bump that it has all over there by the end links. I think instead of it accenting and all blending into the case, they tried to make this invisible looking, you know, the bracelet continues through the watch. I don't know, man. I think it's a little bit ridiculous. Like I said, maybe they're smoking crack over there, but still gonna always be one of my favorite brands, and definitely they've already done it. So what else can we do? I like it, just not as much as the 41. So the conclusion is, if you like the 41 millimeter, I recommend you go out and buy one right now if you don't have one already, because supposedly it's going to be discontinued. And if you plan on getting one, now's the time to get one, because if they're going to stop making them, they're just going to get more beat up and more beat up, and eventually you'll end up getting one when it's too late and it's looking like a 1970, you know, 36 millimeter Day-Date that's all stretched out and loose, all Nicki Minaj and stuff. So if you want a 41 millimeter, now's the time to go get it. If you like this video, don't forget to like and share. Also, don't forget to subscribe. My name is Eric. Watch your style.